Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk all about HVAC tools. If that's something that interests you, hopefully you'll consider hitting the subscribe and stick around for a while. Today I've got an interesting one. Found this thing on Amazon and we're gonna test her out. But first, the winner of last week's giveaway is Randy Laz. So Randy, go ahead and shoot me an email down at my email that's in the description below and send me your information and I'll get that Milwaukee light sent out to you. So let's get right into it. So today's review is going to be this Dewalt. Found this thing on Amazon. It was one of the suggested tools that they thought I might be interested in, and it looked pretty interesting. I'd actually never even heard of this thing before. Didn't know anything like this existed. So what this is a shear attachment. It says it works for impacts, drills, and on a variety of manufacturers and brands. So we're going to go ahead and test that out today and see how well it works. So if this thing works well, I'll go ahead and give this thing away at the end of the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of it and if you'd put it to use, and I'll get it sent out to a random comment selector. I'll leave the comments open for 48 hours from the time that I post this video, then I'll close them off, pick a random comment, and send it out to you. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you can be notified every time I'm giving away tools. Try not to completely destroy the packaging for whoever I send this out to. Oh, there it is. Figure out how to get this thing on here. All right, so first up we'll try it with the Dewalt 20 volt brushless. This is the Atomic. So let's see how this thing gets fitted on there. Insert the shank of the shear into the nose of the impact. All right, good. Just like that. So there we have it. 24 gauge there, or 18 gauge, 22 gauge, and I believe this is 26, so a little bit thinner than what it says, but should be able to cut that no problem then, right? So we've got a piece of 26 gauge, a piece of 22 gauge, and a piece of 18 gauge. All right, let's test some, put some gloves on here, make sure I don't cut myself, it'd be my luck. All right, so let's test this sucker out. So we'll try it with the first one. What did I say this was? 26 gauge? Cuts through that like butter. This thing works better than I thought it was gonna. All right, well that's super thin. What a 26 gauge. This is just some plain steel. This is 22 gauge, so we'll go ahead and give this one a shot. A little bit thicker, see how she does. Not bad. Not bad at all. I don't know if impact would be the way I'd recommend using this thing. I'm curious to see if this works a little bit better on an actual drill. So let me swap that out real quick and we'll test this thing on a drill. Actually, let's run it on the 18 gauge real quick just with the impact to see if it can cut through that with an impact. You can see it'll cut it. It doesn't love to do it, so let's go ahead and test it out on a drill and see if that runs a little bit better. All right, so now we've got the 20 volt This is the XR line, so we'll try this on the drill, brushless, see how this goes. All right, put it on drill. Put it on 1. We can pick up where this one left off. Damn, that thing rips. That thing does awesome. I could just keep cutting stuff just because it's kind of fun. So there it is on the drill. Obviously it runs much better on the drill than it did on the impact, but we'll try it out on the Milwaukee impact just to see what kind of difference it makes. The Atomic definitely isn't the top of the line from a Dewalt, so we'll see if there's any difference there. So the bad thing that I can see here with how this one mounts on a Milwaukee is it's going to mount to the battery release section, whereas the Dewalt was in a different location, so we'll see if that has any issues, but it is definitely clamping down on the battery there, right on the depressors, so we'll see if it makes a difference. One's gonna be way too slow, I can already tell, so let's speed that up. Just skip it right up to 3. There we go. Should probably tighten this up. So if you leave this little section loose here to change the mount, this will rotate, give you different cutting angles, but if you don't tighten it back up, it makes you have some crazy cut there that goes way off of where you're trying to go. Try that again. When you get going along, you can get hung up here, which is the only problem. For making long cuts, the battery ends up getting caught on that piece of metal down at the bottom. This thing cuts like butter. Way better than the Dewalt impact did. Looks a little funny on there, yellow on red. So I don't know if you can see there, if the camera's picking that up, it just doesn't really get a good bite. It's hard to get it level on this tool, on the Makita. Let me mess with it here a little bit and see if we can get it to stay on there better. Does fine, just fine on 22 gauge. Let's say it cuts just fine on the 18 gauge. I bet this would actually cut a little bit thicker if I had something thicker to cut. I must say I'm actually really surprised with this little thing. Well, there you go, guys. That is the Dewalt Shear. This thing actually surprised me. The thing just rips through that sheet metal, no problem. It does way better than I was anticipating, and you can see that it works on a different variety of brands here. I would say the design of the Makita is probably my most concerning, that this thing, you can already see that it still wants to pop off again there. The Milwaukee, it was clamping on that battery. It didn't seem like, the way it mounts, it didn't let the battery slide out or pop off completely. Or it didn't really have any issues with how it mounted to the battery. And this thing ripped right through it. So if you're looking at picking one of these up, I'll have it linked down in the description below. I'm pretty impressed with how this thing ran. Let me know your thoughts. So I'll be giving this away at the end of next week's video. So like I said, I'll leave those comments open for 48 hours. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this thing, or if you'd ever run one or throw it on the truck, and I'll pick a random winner and get it sent off to you. Well, as always, guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for the support. If you could like this video, if you liked what you saw, I'd really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a lot, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next time.